Haining.
You must unite what has been set asunder.
We are TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
When you finally boil it all down, magic is imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more ethereal. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Heist and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. Shine as my heart beats a rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die.
What is up, everyone? It's your main man, Frank Castle, your sorcerer supreme, with my ethereal translator, Paula Milo. We come to you each and every week, broadcasting through the etheric.
Hey, everyone.
I was just trying to cut Paul off
I know.
from saying hello. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Shout out to Fearless family. Shout outs to Chris and Shirigio. Thank you guys so much for building the platform for us to let loose and shoot the truth out of our eyes like optic beams from Cyclops and the X-Men. I'm glad that you're here with us. I've been having a very difficult time.
Yes.
More difficult than I'd like to admit. And I've been keeping it quiet and low profile.
Yes.
For sure. Yes,
You're
Roxy.
in the categories. I know.
Because I've seen things online and people talking, and I can't even respond to them and answer. It's almost like my communications won't allow a proper communicated statement. It always comes off douchey or kind of like out of left field. Oh, this guy's a weirdo. And some guy was saying, hey, I had an experience where I was like meditating. I started losing my mind. I didn't know who I was for a minute. And I understand things like that, right? Like I lost it.
Yeah, you relate to it, yeah.
Then I saw someone that had an Aya journey. They went through the same thing, wondering what can I do to like level that playing field out. I actually have answers to questions like that, which is really, really, really weird. In the middle of all my nonsense, I'm sitting there going, well, you could just ask to be taken out of your body for those moments, because you're actually sitting in your body during the upgrade. And when you're flipping through the radio stations too fast, you don't even know what's going on. It just looks like it could be a horror nightmare. It could be a confusing, jumbled message that you think is coming from the great beyond. Meanwhile, your higher self is like, stand up and breathe.
Well, I think it's
right?
just too much stimulation all at
Too much
once.
stimulation. Ethereal translation at its finest. That's what it is, isn't it? We are coming online, and it's beating the shit out of a bunch of us, or all of us. I would say all of us, but we know it's not happening to everyone. Wink, 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 wink. NPCs, wink, wink, wink. Are you guys upgrading too? Wink, wink, wink. 110011. Haha, I know you'll get that joke. Sorry, I had to speak to binary to the AI and let it know.
People's
Beep, beep,
children
boop,
are
bop,
feeling
beep, beep,
it.
boop, bop. We're coming to get you, kid.
Yeah, everyone's going through it. The animals are going through it as well.
My poor cats. Everyone's sick. everyone's going through
Some sort of upgrade.
I want to call
upgrade.
this like one giant portal that we step through, and during that portal that we're passing through, this opening or the inside of that donut, when you turn it on its side, there's like a 1/4 inch of donut when you go through the hole before you come out the other side. So before you come out the other side, you're not allowed certain things. We talk about this, like you can't take that with you, like coming out the point on the other end, even though it's another.
Yeah. When you're going through an upgrade, you got to let that go.
It's almost like you got to walk through naked.
Yeah.
And you can't take your shoes, you can't take your socks. You got to just kind of leave that.
You have to shed all the stuff you
Can't
think
take the backpack.
you thought was important. Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You're
You can't stick it all in a bag. It doesn't
I took
fit.
extra baby wipes though,
Yeah.
and it's like, don't worry, there's baby wipes right there. You got to take everything off out of your backpack, leave it. Don't even go through it. Just leave it, drop it.
But that's it, because you can't take it with you. So when you go through these upgrades and you're feeling physically ill or tired or just overwhelmed with everything, it's hitting all the senses at once. You know, I used to carry, anyone who knew me my entire life, I always carried a big pocketbook. And I'm a little girl, but I always had a big pocketbook, and I had the magic bag. I mean, you needed it. I had it. I could be on that show, Let's Make a Deal, with my pocketbook.
I think one of the things that impressed you about me
You
was
had the
my
same
backpack.
bag. You had a magic backpack.
I have a small backpack, right? But it's always packed.
With
right?
everything.
And because I can't wear a backpack because it's just too much for my back and my neck and stuff. Anyway, so people made fun of me when I was down in Florida. Shout out to Raz Radio. They were like, hey, it's Dora the Explorer. And then I pulled the bag out. Everybody needed something after that stupid comment. And I had something for everyone there.
In the bag.
And they were like, are you kidding me? What did you? I said, all right. Did any of you guys pay attention when you were little and mom was like, you're going to need chapstick. You're going to need like a little bag with baby wipes in it because you might not have like poop your pants, but you might step in poop and you might get it on your white shirt. Like nothing, like nobody taught you anything, right? To have a little bit something with, like you're going to be on the hot beach all day. You're not bringing water. Like, I don't get it. It's like, no, the universe will just take care of me. It's like, yeah, you haven't upgraded that far yet. Let's get the Shaman bag out and see what we got for you.
Well, my point is with the pocketbook is, as I have been going through this process with you, the pocketbook gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
My bag's empty.
Yeah.
It's right there with a hat.
Yeah, next to my empty
Next
bag,
to
right
your
next to it, and the keys. Yeah, it's literally empty. I carry now a little. You bought me a little tiny clutch bag, and that's what I use because
we're getting down to the minimalist parts.
Because you really don't need all that stuff. If you plan accordingly, you don't need all that stuff.
Well, what's the story that you told me about the lady that kept the hanger in the car?
Oh, yeah. It's an Abraham story. So
I always have a towel, by the way, Chris. I keep a towel with me.
Oh,
the
there are people in the chat room
fall.
commenting. Oh, yeah.
I keep a towel with me. I keep it in my belt or around my neck.
Oh yeah,
I sweat like
our
a pig.
cars too. We're packed. The cars are packed. Like if we get stuck on
I'm
the
sorry, I
side of
didn't
the
mean
road.
to interrupt.
No, it's okay. But you don't. Oh, so Abraham. So Esther Hicks used to drive around with a coat hanger in her car in case anyone needed it if they got locked out of their car. And what happened was, it's funny because you think it's funny, but you get locked out of your car once, I would have something like that in my car too. I used to do it all the time.
Nobody has a wire hanger anymore.
No, well, you can't get in like that anymore. A lot of these cars.
True.
But then, during that time when she was telling the story, she said she kept a coat hanger in her car and she noticed that there was like 1 or 2 people a day during her travels that would need to use this coat hanger. And then she realized she was manifesting the problem because she had the solution with her all the time.
Problem, reaction, solution.
Exactly. We were just talking about this
street.
during the break before the show started. Because we have these cats and they come in and out and we're trying to work on solutions and spring is coming and we were at Home Depot trying to get ready for the spring and it's a little too early and we can't put the cart before the horse, and so there was stuff we wanted to get. We can't get it now.
Well,
It's just Yes.
We
So
were going through personal anarchy with my grandmother and everyone.
yeah, so we're
It's
trying
just
to
been
have
crazy.
these small moments of happiness. Oh, we were just talking about that too. Small moments of happiness in between like a very tragic situation. So we can't go far from the house because we don't know what's going to be with
My
the family.
grandmother's
Yeah,
on her last kind
grandma's
of-
home, she's doing hospice care at home, so we can't go far because I'm afraid if we do, we're not going to be back in time for whatever we're needed
And
for.
it's not even to miss her in case she passes.
No,
it's from my mother.
it's in case,
or
in
one of my
case,
family members.
yeah,
You
it's in
have to
case
be
your mom
there.
needs
Yeah.
something or pop needs something, and so like I feel like we're on call, and like we talked about last week. Frank and I have been working in shifts. Then we work together when we can work together. So today was a day where we tackled everything together, and we got a lot of stuff done. And then we said, let's go to Home Depot.
Yeah.
Just for a little while, just to walk around and get some stuff for spring.
It was
And
the most beautiful day today.
It
By the way, the
was.
sun is giving off intense amounts of information.
it
today.
was a beautiful day. And so for a little while, we got a little bit of normal again. And we were going to go buck wild in Home Depot. And then the two of us had to walk to the side of the aisle and we had to slow our roll because
Yeah.
we were getting crazy because it was like just a moment of normal. And it just hit us all at once.
'Cause
and-
you're not getting the
Yeah,
whenever you want it.
yes. And so we had to like talk each other off the ledge and
It
you
gets
know.
psychopathic.
Yeah.
Right. Not knowing who you are during meditation, look, it comes right back around. Being in the store and being like, "You sure you don't need anything more? Are you sure you don't want to walk down the next aisle? We have the whole sort." You start going through these weird moments of checking. Is this real? Is this real? Is this real? Like,
Could we be having this much fun in Home Depot? Like, could this experience be this much fun, or is it because we're so worried all the time that we're trying to steal the fun when we can? And it was a weird experience.
Well,
it was a very weird experience for us.
yeah. I've been coming in and out of psychotic breaks, not realizing where I am because it's so intense. I close my eyes and I'm literally in another spot. And I've been wondering a lot to myself, what's been happening? Has anything really been happening? Because we're all like, I haven't presented myself with the FearLess family and the radio and the video for a minute now because I've been going through some family stuff and I can't seem to do it. I can't seem to push through this layer, which is the universe telling me if you push through and you decide to do that, it's a square peg, round hole situation. The possibility of the foot going right in your mouth, saying the wrong thing, communications being not where they should be, and you trying to spend 3 hours discussing something that takes 4 seconds, right? But because your communication skill lacks.
Yeah, so we're back to
just living a life.
Say nothing, do nothing.
Of observation,
Yeah.
help when we can in spurts. Try to upgrade, downgrade, right? You got to relax in a few minutes during the day, and then boom, it's back to doing what you were doing. And it's this ridiculous hustle. So I'm back to understanding the hustle again on another level. I haven't drank ayahuasca in over a year now. It's been a year. It's been over a year. I'm ready to do it again. But I realize it's taken 1 full year to find myself back into that grind. But at the same time, are we passing through that portal? Are we adjusting, pulling together our families tight to fix, solve, resolve, release contracts, duties, responsibilities, right? And then to get back on track to the new. Because I see there's this weird thing happening in my life where I want to celebrate my grandmother.
Oh yeah.
It sounds so weird, guys. My version of celebrate is a literal celebration. Roll blunts, have a party, talk about her. Like, I was thinking about her today in the shower. Her name, she has the best name, Viola. I love that name.
Yeah, I like it too.
So I was just saying it, Viola,
Yeah.
Viola, right? So I'm just celebrating because without her, there wouldn't be me, my mother, my brother,
Yeah.
the kids.
Yeah, your entire family would
right.
be
Then
there.
on the other side, there would be no aunt and uncle and this, that. Like, they would not exist if not for this lady.
Yes.
So it's party for celebration
Well,
for
it's also
you.
gratitude you were showing, I think,
Super
too.
gratitude. It's not coming from a place of let's party, grandma's dying. Like, I'm bugging out in this weird.
No,
because I can see her.
No, I think it's a celebration of what she meant to you while she was living, what she meant to you at different times in your life. You know, like I was there the other day.
Well,
so
that never dropped off. So
No.
it's always been like a charge forward of grandma.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
now it's in your face, and now like there are memories that just keep popping up all over, and like stories that are being told.
Yes,
and
I feel cycle of life with her.
Yeah.
Like, I was little, she
Yeah.
held me.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
she's
yeah.
old, I hold her.
Yeah.
I kiss her like 5-6 times on the forehead. I tell her how much I love her. So I went and you know the story, but I'm going to tell it. I went and I laid down. I've been having these things where I can't eat all of a sudden. Like, I eat, like I want to eat. Like, I have 10 stomachs. I put on a lot of weight. I'm like at 204 now again. So I gained back 20 pounds. And I'm just like, oh, you know, but I eat one meal and it shuts my body off like 100%. Like, I'm going down to one thought, and now I'm going to either faint or I'm going to barely be able to walk my way over to some place and pass out. So I get into my house the other day and I just walked over there. It's like almost a mile. I got my energy charged up. I get in there, boom, it hits me. I'm going to sleep. I'm going down, and I'm going, you know what? I'm going to lay right next to my grandmother.
Yeah, you can't fight it.
And I told you I want to go see my grandmother, right? And then it was like I was drawn to her.
Oh, yeah, that particular day. It was a couple of days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so I go, and I tell my mother, I'm just going to go stay with grandma for a little bit. She's right in the living room, right? So I'm like, I'm right here. She's passed out. So I lay down on the couch.
Next to her.
And I'm like inches from her. And I can't contain myself. Boom, I'm unconscious. I mean, I must have been snoring unconscious when you're just like, whoa.
Yep.
But I've only been up like 4 hours.
Yeah, so
I
you
have no
shouldn't have been
right
that
being
tired.
back to sleep, right? I have no right in the world, right? So, but I'm out. Then I'm realizing that I'm hearing things that are going on in the room. Because there's people coming over. And I'm just on the couch next to her. And I see what I was telling you was a dog. It was like a ball of energy, and then a dog with his mouth open, and the dog was made of energy, and his mouth was wrapping around the ball of energy, like, but not to eat it, like to protect it, like you put a baby in your mouth, like the egg, and then try to walk off with it. It's kind of like that. And then I hear my uncle's voice, and I hear my aunt's voice. Then I hear a dog bark, and I'm like, wait, what? Right? Like, I'm confused, and the dog head's morphing around this ball of energy, and I feel it pass through the room, and it looked weird. It almost looked terrifying for a minute because they were melting into each other, but then back into normal. And I'm like, wow, isn't that interesting? Like, I don't know how long it was between me seeing that animal and then hearing them come in the place, but it was pretty significant from my perspective, which I'm sure it was only moments. And then they left, I guess. I don't remember that part, and I was going in a fetal position, almost like I was being peeled off the floor. It was really weird, and I saw a pillar of light that I usually am. Like when I say I'm a pillar, during my meditation, I go, I'm a pillar of light in the darkness. I'm a pillar of light in the darkness. And then out through the void, I echo this giant pillar of light, and I activate. I mean, you got to redo this like multiple times a day if you want to be activated until it's 100% all the time. And I saw this thing come down from the sky and lock onto her. And I told you, I heard the noise, like ka-dunk, ka-dunk, like it hit around her chair. And I was like, oh, shit, this is it. You got your clear path to go. And then it was like I was shaken awake, and I realized just an hour passed, maybe. Like an hour and 1 minute. Because I looked at the clock and I said, man, I didn't even, it's just going to be 4 hours. You were going to get mad. I thought, oh, he fell asleep on 4 hours on the couch. And it was 1 hour, start to finish. And then I was up, and then I ran into the bathroom. So I was like, I had to go to the bathroom so bad. Oh, it was the worst. And then I came out, I brushed my teeth, and I was like, well, gotta go, guys. Like I was Santa Claus, anchoring energy of kind of weird stuff in the room. Gave everyone kisses, and got my butt home, right? Because that was it.
You could say you brought your backpack. You had your backpack.
No. The point is that we're like locking in and doing things, and we're unaware that we're even doing
completely unaware.
So when we're like, is anything actually happening? I don't think anything. I think everything's always been happening.
All at once.
All at once, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Every time. In every time. All the time.
Yes.
In the now. And
because it's always now.
Yeah.
Because
it is. That's what it is. Inside that sphere of time, it's always now.
Because time is not linear. It's always now.
You know why this is like that? If you were on an old projector screen and you're going frame by frame, right? To play the time out, right? You got to project each one image at so many frame rates per second. We're doing the exact same thing. It's almost like every trillionth of a second, there's a stop shot of me like going to hand Paula the coffee. And then there's that white line on the film strip that crosses one scene to the next scene.
Right.
Right? So that's time. Time does that. To go in time, it echoes out. Forward and backwards. But it's in a loop, spiral, which is why it's infinite. Right? So that's why you could have time, this time, that time.
No two times are the same.
So we're unaware of all this stuff going on all the time.
Or every time it's the same.
Exactly. Or the more things change, the more they stay the same. That's the infinite loop working on itself. Nothing actually changed except your visual. Maybe a few other things.
So why don't you tell them what else happened when you woke up? When you checked your phone?
Refresh me. So much has been happening.
So when you woke up, you said
everyone was texting me.
Yes.
If I was okay, where are you? I need you now. I'm like, man, I haven't heard from anyone literally except 2 people in like 2 or 3 weeks, literally. Like, it's been so randomized.
Yeah.
And then I had 16 messages.
Well, even I texted you, and that's rare because I
thought you wanted me to go to the store, and you're like, no, I miss you. And I'm
miss
like,
you. It's funny because
it's been an hour.
We've been splitting shifts so that we're to cover more time. We've been trying to go to the grandparents' house separately, so this way we can cover more hours during the day.
They don't need 12 people there at once.
They need a body there all day long. So we've been trying to split shifts. So I never bother Frank when he's out because we're together all the time. And, there's always a plan. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there. I'm coming home, whatever. So I'm always informed of the plan. And for some reason, I didn't think he was going to be long. I had a feeling it wouldn't be a long visit. But for some reason, I got this overwhelming sense of where is he? What's he doing? I miss him. Is he okay? And I texted him, hey, are you okay? I miss you. And then he called me back and he said, you're not going to believe what happened. And then I said, all right, don't tell me now. Just get home and then we'll talk when you get home because I didn't want him to be distracted.
And it's funny because it's spiritual stuff.
I know.
And I was saying, I can't talk to my mother about this right now. I could say stuff like, I want to celebrate grandma. I could explain she's the matriarch and that without her, there would be no you, which in turn, there's no me. And I love you and you love me and we love her. Right? Like, that's cool. But I can't say I locked down the beam from the highest realm around grandma or did a little ritual and walked away. But we're not aware of these things that we do. Yet they're going on anyway.
But they're going on without us because do you remember when we put her in that the bubble of protection in the emergency room?
Yes.
That extended to the house. So now I feel like we have she's in a bubble of protection. But I know she's being visited.
I've seen her multiple times in our house.
Yeah. So she's been peeking out at what's out there
she said, I'm so busy. And I said to her, Viola, like when you were on the bus, they used to have 2 people on the bus.
Oh, a matron. She was a matron.
Yeah, she was a matron on the bus. And that used to be a big deal. For whatever, they made a big deal of that stuff. And she was like, I'm so busy. It's like, nobody's listening, but everyone's listening over here, but nobody's listening. But you can see me. But then you're my grandson. Of course you could see me. And I'm like, oh, whoa. Now I know where my mother gets it from. Now I know where I get it from. She's like, it's like I'm so busy. I go, it's like being on the bus again. And she looked at me and goes, with children.
Yes.
And I go, but we're children. And she goes,
yes.
All of you are children. I was and that. All right. Now I'm talking. My grandmother's alive. She's kind of just laying in a chair. So that's why when I'm like 3:00 when she's here with me,
yes,
she's not in her body.
No, but that's what I think
and
she's doing. I think she's been peeking out a little bit.
We do the Homer Simpson, the dolt, covering our eye, like, I can't believe, I can't, like I saw my great grandfather today, and I was like, I called, I'm like, man, he's got to be around here somewhere, and he was, Bob, I'm right here. I go, you walking her through? They go, everyone's here.
Yeah.
You guys are literally, too. Like, they're trying to make me feel good, I think, by doing this. Like, don't worry about, because I saw William Whitecrow. William Whitecrow, every time I go to cry about the dead,
he comes through.
He wants to punch me in the face.
Because he wants you to
But
rejoice.
he doesn't want to punch me in the face. He stands there very stoic, right? Now, William Whitecrow was one of the hosts on True Frequency Radio. I personally, I had him for a little bit to talk to. Just a little bit. And I had very big respect. And he paid me a visit when he passed. And I was like crying. And he said, don't you dare cry for me, knowing what we know. And I said, but I got to purge the negative emotional feeling. And
no,
he was
it's
like,
their human
tears.
Earthly. They're earthly tears.
What he said to me. But he was like snapped out of it. But he was military. So ex-military. So there was a piece of that in him, and it made me stoic up a little bit, man up internally, because you're right there. You're actually with me. What am I crying about? You're here with me. You're actually closer now than you can be here. All right, we'll be back. Got more crazy. One at a time. Your protection from deception.
No hate, no hype. No fear.
You're listening to Truth Frequency Radio.
We are TFR.
Am I awake or is this a dream? It's a dream. It's a dream. A fantasy where I'd rather be. So come and talk with me. Come and walk with me. Is this a wake-up call from my reality? Have you seen my friends? Have you seen my girl? Wake me up from this. I'm trapped in this world.
What's up, everybody? We are back. It's Mr. I Am. We are Fearless. You know the name. Frank Castle, Sorcerer Supreme. Here with my ethereal translator, Paula Milo.
Hey.
So, you're right. Somebody said it in the chat room, death is more than just leaving the body and stuff. And I'm going to make this connect to what I missed last week on the show when I think I might have talked about the steampunk place. The gears and there's a spot, like a level you go to where there's like the pipes. You can see them coming out of the people as they're walking around. It's almost like you can see the shadows
and the gears and the bells and the whistle.
Yeah, you can see all of that working. And during the time, now my grandmother's passing, when I was drinking Aya in the house in the basement at 2 a.m. back years ago, I was wondering who was bringing this gin in the house. Constantly, I'd have to fight him off and remove him just to find out it was my grandmother who was slowly getting dementia. So there is more going on than just her passing. There's a spiritual battle that is taking place at the same time. So in this area with the bells and whistles and the you can see, I call it the steam pipes.
Steampunk, yeah.
And it looks steampunkish, like the colors. It's not quite neon, but it is a little. It's not like futuristic neon. It's weird. There's like an opaque background, and you can see all the buildings and people walking around, but you can see the line from them almost like they're in snorkel outfits with the snorkel going up, because it's almost like we're submerged where there's no water, but because we're from the hyperfluid. This is one of the things I'm learning. We're actually scuba diving by using air. Like it's the weirdest thing. It's like reversed.
I could see that.
Right? Because they were like, yo, when you come here and you're passing and you're going from frequency to frequency, think scuba diving. And then they showed it to me.
I agree with that, though, because when I smoked DMT, I felt like I was wet. I felt like I was passing through a barrier.
Everything's passing through this water and this hyperfluid, and there's no restriction on your movement. You
I
blink,
felt wet.
you go from one side to the other. How do you think you're moving like that? There has to be a surface to move on or through. There's some kind of liquid. We call it hyperspace. And hyperspace, what is it made of? You think it's just empty? You ever watch Doctor Strange when he's flying through hyperspace? It don't look empty to me. Anyway, so there's all this stuff going on. So there's protections and of our loved ones that are happening. So in this area, you can also see where you would have an injury in the physical realm here, the 3D area, right? Let's say you had a hole in your hand. On the other side, in this area, you would see the hole. Entities would then, beings of parasitic kind, would then try to connect
through the hole,
through the damaged area.
Yeah, I see
now,
that.
this is metaphorical.
No, it's not. It's literal.
No,
too.
I mean, this is literal, but it means for any spot, anywhere, any damage.
No, any spot. That's why I'm saying it's
including
literal.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage, emotional breaks. That's right. Any holes. Yes.
From that place, you can see them doing it.
That's
you can
how they
see
get
how
in.
they do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can see it the way the gears work. You can understand it better. You can go, oh, and what did you just say to me? As you connected a tentacle to the hole in my hand, and now it's eating. It looks like it's eating, like pulling it back. This comes out in a variety of ways in our society. Right now, I'm going to try to just bring this around a little bit to a couple of things so we can have an open forum to discuss this.
Okay.
Shows lately, Solo, the Star Wars movie, Escaping the Octopus.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, I think every movie that has some kind of tentacled creature, whether it's
go through
smoke-like
yeah.
or fire-like, but it's always tentacles of some kind, or TV shows now where it's
there's
straight octopus.
That Netflix show, OA.
We're not
gonna give it away, but
you'll see it. We've been talking about this from day one, and that doesn't mean that this hasn't been done since the day I spoke about it, but others have spoken about this stuff, where these things are connecting and eating, right? So you get road rash, you get pimples, like an outbreak where it's really bad, or you have some kind of weird disease. You say your liver's bad or your kidney's going away. You can see these things attached to you there. So when you're under ire, we pull these things out. And we throw up the poison. That's what's happening.
Oh, you push out the poison.
Right?
Yeah.
But in the 3D, we're looking and you're like, oh, Frank's just throwing up, riding around on the floor, sweating like a pig, needs a towel, might need a diaper.
You purged the other day.
And I still haven't. I just do it now. It's almost like once I activate it, now I'm going. There's no stopping that. So the purge will happen without the ayahuasca. Do you purge without ayahuasca?
Yes, I purge all the time.
How do you
purge? I purge all the time. It's different all the time. Sometimes it's poop. Sometimes I cough. Sometimes I cry.
Right.
Sometimes it manifests through pain.
Like pain
in my body aches. And
like
I know that's
pains
a purge.
That you haven't had in a while?
Old injuries or wounds, definitely.
Yeah, that's what I meant, actually.
I was talking to Brian Gasca on the phone the other day, and we had a great conversation, and I made him purge over the phone. And I think it was good for him.
I'm just going to say this. Because this is, so I'm vaping while talking about steampunk for the guy in the chat room, and then bam, that says psoriasis, right? Psoriasis?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the word I was going to use. Before when I was talking about specific to like your liver or this, I was going to say, because the marks that are on your body are almost like you had a jellyfish take its tentacle and ride it across
your body.
Okay, so a lot of people are experiencing that. What's the name of the disease where your body just hurts, like your nerve endings are popping off?
Fibromyalgia.
Guess what can do something like that to you if it was invisible but standing right next to you and you thought you were not in water and breathing air, and then a jellyfish or octopus came by and took a tentacle and ran it up your arm, your back, your leg, your ass cheek, whatever, your foot, your hand, all of it, your face. rash just breaks out. I didn't touch anything. I didn't go to work. I don't know what's happening. I'm just in my house. I cleaned. I did this. And boom. And then what do you have to do to get rid of it? You have to focus on it. You have to be deliberate. Say it's a rash, right? You're like, oh, so I put some ointment on it, and I think about it because you're always thinking about it. Because how do I look? How do I look? Do you see this? Does this hurt? Oh, but it hurts, and oh, I'm going to stay inside. And oh, you see, it just drags you down that hole. It's almost like it's made, or it's a deliberate attack, rather than an actual disease.
I completely agree with that because I know for me, I mean, I go through this terrible, terrible dry skin issue, and it's terrible. It's like I want to take my skin off. I want to be free of it, and I can't. There's no way I can. Yet. And I know that when I went through QHHT healing, I did see myself as a point of light without a body, and I preferred it that way. Like, I really feel like this body is so insignificant. Like, if I just used my mind, my life would be okay.
I don't know the kind of resolve that I've built, and I've witnessed yours, which is way more than mine, right? But my resist domination to things. We were watching a movie, and people getting controlled, and I'm like, oh, if I knew that was happening. We were watching Kingsman. I'm like, I would just chain myself up to not come after you when the people were losing their mind, when he put the cell phone on.
Yeah, you would.
Right? Okay. 5 years ago, I would have thrown the table through your face and chased you through the house just like it was a nightmare. That's the kind of resolve. I don't know how to compare it to anything. So when I see people get mind controlled, I'm like, yeah, that wouldn't work on me.
What did we say?
Even if it was your superpower,
what did you and I
would
say
catch you off guard and punch you right
years
in the jaw.
ago about Ancestry.com and 23andMe?
Oh, here we go with that.
Frank and I talked about this when we first met.
Geez, Paula, the first time she was on the show
about
talking about stuff.
About DNA. And, you know, when we had first met, we talked about it, you know, like people, I mean, and I have family that's done it. I have friends that have done it. I will not do that. I will not give the government my DNA, because now all of those places, all of those DNA sites, Ancestry, they're all selling their DNA information.
Okay, now here's what happens too. They target people by doing this, and not just the FBI having it, but now
it's the police too. It's the
target
familial DNA. They're targeting.
This is what we were doing. Problem, reaction, solution. This is what we were talking about. They take your DNA, then all of a sudden a virus comes out of nowhere that's life-threatening to you when you're 60 years old. You go to get fixed, and they own the right to not only the material but to your DNA that could make you healthy and charge you $1 million, but you need $17 billion because you need 36 injections. And you're like, wait, I could never.
I don't want my DNA catalog. That's why, you know, I was, you
That's
know,
how
that.
they
Do you know
target
what made
people.
me think of that? The Queen, when you told me she has her own, she travels with her own bathroom.
Okay, so the grooming of the stool.
Yeah, she
Paula had a
doesn't-
rough time with this one.
I did have a very rough time with this one. I
Google it.
really did.
It's you
so-
start typing it, and
but
it just
I
comes
think
right
it's
up.
because she does not want anyone having access to her DNA,
That is exactly.
because she doesn't want them to know she's a reptilian.
Yeah, well,
But-
I wish you would just say that louder into that microphone.
No, I said it loud enough. But that's how I feel, you know. And then Frank and I had said this when we first met. I don't want anyone having their hands on my DNA.
Morgellon fibers. Let me tell you guys something. We were under DMT and ayahuasca multiple times, where we were. That stuff's coming from the sky.
Oh, we
Right?
were hit with those nanobots
Okay,
in the
they're
rain that
nanos
day. I don't want to hear
weaving.
anything. There were
They're
nanobots in the
weaving
rain.
and pooping. That's like nano poop, weaving spider webs inside the people.
They're smaller than the size of a pinhead. You
We
can't even see them. They
went
use them
under
for
Aya.
surgeries now.
You do like 14 days. I did 12 sessions over 14 days once. After the third day, it became commonplace. Like, it didn't hurt no more to wake up and drink Aya. That I was battling that because it rained one day, And they were like, remember what happened with the AI and the mushrooms? And I'm like, yeah, well, I got to go to my car. They're like, don't go to your car right now.
Yeah, don't go outside.
Don't go outside.
We did it that day. We got
It
stuck in the rain.
physically will just jump on you.
Yep.
And what happens? The cat comes in. I pet the cat. Oh, then I'm throwing up. And I'm like, what am I throwing up? And you see them creating this stuff. They're building antennas inside of us. I know this sounds so weird. It's so out there. But I'm talking about layers. We're going through layers of observation and awareness and expansion. So is something happening? Yeah, something is happening. Something's always been happening. Is anything happening? Yes. Disclosure has been
It's always
here.
happening, yeah.
It's already here. You can see the real videos. They mix fakes in with the reals, so you get confused. It's already there. Okay? Are you connecting? Are you connecting with you? Are you fighting this stuff off? Can you see it? Can you feel it? Are you beginning to remember yourself and who you are and what's going on? Because they have the problem, reaction, solution for you lined up.
Scary questions.
Don't get hypnotized by the distractions and by the BS, because it's all coming out now, little at a time. Your government isn't going to tell you UFOs exist. Stop thinking about it. I look up at the sky. Go outside with Nick Zervos. I look up to the sky. I go, I want to see the stars. They're like, why'd you come out here to see the stars? You are the stars. And I saw the background, the hologram, and I went, oh, that's how you guys are transversing the universes. You know, the codes input to the hologram, because it's in a time sphere and we're just standing in a room projecting into it. Then you go back to the torus and the donut. And we talked about this on the last couple of shows, right? So my eyesight's bad all of a sudden. Awake, aware, and attracting. Now I am awake. I'm aware of it now. I can see the things that are happening. I can take preparations. I can give guidance. I can guide myself. Forget about giving guidance to anyone else. First, it's time to fix me and move through the crowd. Get my safe, sacred space back in line. My internal structure, because your external structure just reflects your internal adjustment. So that was tonight's thing, by the way. That's why I'm talking about this.
Oh, that's fine.
The
That's
three
fine.
things, like low, medium, hard, low, medium, high. Awake,
Low,
aware,
medium, hard.
and attract. It starts off in these weird positions, and then you lay next to grandma and bring a pillar of light down over your dying grandmother. And then you say to yourself, well, I can't talk about this.
Because she's set up.
Because I gotta relate it to Jesus somehow, coming out of a cloud and God giving some power to me. No, that's you doing
That's
that,
you. Do it
working
that
with
way.
her,
Yeah, you
because
think
we're
that.
creators. Well, we have to be pretty forward about what's going on.
She's ready to. I think you gave her a clear path. She's ready. If she decides to go, when she decides to go, she'll be ready.
No, absolutely. So one of the things that's been happening to us here in the house with my etherical translator and myself and the rest of the
we
family,
keep seeing those sparks of light.
they're not sparks anymore to me. They're like more. Like they usually, you know how they happen at the corner of your eye, you catch things moving, you thought you saw some
Please,
cats
I
and
keep
stuff.
seeing invisible cats all over.
I was seeing cats everywhere, and I kept going, no, wait, what? And I'm like, am I thinking that because my cat's usually there? Or is he? No, he's never there. Wait a second. He was just there, then here.
No,
Me
I
and
saw
you were
cats in the bedroom the other night.
And it was right next to your head, and I was looking right at you, and right off like 3 inches to your head, I saw a line of purple light.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, oh, well, that's new. So this is happening, because I blinked, and I was like, nope, that was in my field of view now. You're not coming out. Like, it used to be the corner of your eye, and then it was kind of more out of just almost the corner of your eye.
What happens.
Less,
That's what's happening to me. Flashes of light.
until it's field of view.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So deconstructing the hologram, the matrix, switching frequency. You can't just go into the high frequency with your body. You'll pop. So these things like sounds in your ears and
do you hear the buzzing now? You hear it?
I might have something's wrong with my.
Yeah, it's my left ear. It's your right ear.
Oh.
Yeah, my left ear. I feel it.
All right. So we've become more, I think we're headed for this at least, self-sustaining. Everything that we're doing, and it's funny because Easter's coming and it's like the push to the spring and it's all here now and the things that are dying are
spring
coming
is
back
here.
to life.
Everything's
The
starting to
portal is-
bloom. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. But what is this is why I want to go back to, we were in Home Depot today. We got ficus and other plants and stuff. So we're like making food, right? Like we have garlic inside.
Oh yeah, we're growing herbs.
Cilantro, herbs and stuff. Okay. Why is all of a sudden this so important?
I don't know.
Why is it so important that we go and get bigger pots for the big to make the plants bigger to sustain?
It started in February. We got this call to go buy the seeds. We bought the seeds. We started germinating the seeds.
I was like, I want to see beautiful purple things in my house growing out of the ground. I don't even know how to describe it other than purple.
Yeah, we started
stuff.
So we have
now there's stuff everywhere.
So we had to go buy more pots, and we have to put Ficus Baby in a bigger pot.
Everything though that we're doing is working, whereas things in the past have never worked before.
Birth.
Paula would say, well, with me, I grow things all the time, but I did. I'm not Green Thumb Frank, right?
You are now. You are now.
Now I have father qualities because of kittens and cats and different things,
stray cats,
just different beings. Period. And I could cook, and so these. I do have a green thumb now.
You do have a green thumb.
Okay. I also do carpentry. Look, guys, I'm only talking about this because I can't talk about your successes because I'm not interviewing
These
you.
are successes
I
for
couldn't
Frank.
do this when we first started the show.
Couldn't hammer a nail on the wall.
When I was on air, episode 1, I couldn't hammer a nail into the wall. Guys, episode 1. We're on episode 135.
Mm-hmm.
I would cry at night over paperwork. Cry. You guys have no idea. You look at me and be like, dude, he'll eat everyone here. Whatever. I got to do more than 3 pages of paperwork. If it's just not sign your name and date, my heart palpitates. I start sweating everywhere. Even if you're like, oh, I'll help you. I'll just fill this out for you. I'm still like, that's all gone. Yeah. Now I'm like, give me that. Bong, bong, bong. Done. Next. I handle all my own business. Guys, I never did this. So
it's adulting at its finest.
But you have to celebrate small achievements.
You do.
If you're like, oh, what do you mean you wrote a check? No big deal. You know what? It is a big deal. You know why? Because half the United States don't know how to do it. Okay? And that's not my issue, by the way. So don't load that one on me. But across the board, there's things, right? You little boy's trying to get in.
All right, let me let him in.
Give me this. Go rescue him. Little by little, it's filtering out. I was making fun of myself. I go, oh, funny, I meet Space Jesus with my cat on multiple occasions last summer, and now all of a sudden I'm a carpenter. Like, I'm not a carpenter. I can build basic stuff, and I could fix stuff around the house, whereas before, 0. 100% opposite. Do you guys feel me? Who's out there? Where's the men out there that are like, well, you don't know how to change a tire? You know what? I have always known how to change a tire. But you know what? I've never
had to do it.
No. I've always done that. But I've never had to do certain things like change oil and put liquids in the cars. But you know what? I do them. Right? Certain responsibilities I didn't have to do. Or there was no one there to show me. Or I just didn't honestly give a shit. You know what? GoBots were more important at the time, and Frank wasn't there for baking class, so blows raspberries, right? But now I'm 45, and I'm going. I'm not 45 yet, but I'm right there, and I'm saying to myself, why you get this questionable look? Am I 45?
No, I think you're going to be 45.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm at this point where I'm watching these things upgrade in me. The other day I was rapping in the shower for like a half hour, right? And I came out and I told Paula, I have 170-something songs, right? Whether they're good or not a big deal. I don't remember any of my verses except for Watchtower, and then I went, oh, that's my brother's verse.
Because you're not.
Because live I have to do his verse.
Because that's not you anymore.
And then everything else was just off the top of my head, and it sounded like I was making songs. And for all you basic rappers and mumble rappers, I would have embarrassed you right there. I would have embarrassed you right there with a smile. And I'm not trying to battle, just trying to smile and come through with a message that's better than whatever's out there. I mean, it doesn't even matter what's out there. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm trying to pass a message through. But can you do it cool with the sound and dun-dun-dun-dun-dun? Are you comfortable with that? No. Yeah, I'm mad comfortable with that.
That's life. That's
it's
how you should work through life.
Coming back online, and I'm saying to myself, oh, if I could have did this 10 years ago,
can't go back.
I would have been the guy on stage murdering. All right, Chris Gio
can only
came
start
to
from
my
now.
first show in Denver. He'll tell you what I do. He was like, oh, that's awesome. I go, right. I was like, we could do it. He's like, no, I'm not. We were comparing because Chris is awesome, right? And I look up to him, and I guess it was the live show thing with the different guys that were there and the different characters. So it was pretty interesting. And then Burns and I crush it in front of everyone, and he's like, holy. And I'm like, yeah, that's how we have to do it. But then Chris was right. He was like, are you Supernova or are you Dirty Money? And I was like, no, I'm Supernova. But now I can't even thinking Dirty Money. I think back and I'm like, I was listening before. I go, is that my brother in there rapping? And
yeah, we were
me.
listening to your music before.
And I'm like, oh, I don't even.
Yeah, you don't even know that guy anymore.
I can't reference you anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm not there.
Yep, that's your old story.
It's so far left that I don't even know what to say anymore. But I'm not trying to not be. I'm just trying to bring.
No, you're not trying to.
Cool.
No, you're not trying to hate or to not be. But you're not that person anymore.
But all of these things, like skills, I didn't think I had or couldn't do, I accomplished by putting in this work with myself that created a self-sustaining entity being that can really talk the talk, walk the walk. And I'm not trying to talk anything at anyone. I'm trying to share it and go along with you because I know the wave that I've been here with, we're all the ones that are listening. You're listening for a reason. You're not just listening and going, yeah, this is a great story. Like you're part of the story. I'm sure of it. Remember we used to say you're part of the story? You're listening to my story.
You're part of the story.
How many ayahuasca journeys did I talk about? I can't talk about that forever and ever and ever. Right. We got to get basic with stuff, and we got to teach, and we got to learn again, and we got to get back into the mud, and we got to rub it on our faces and remember what we are, and then step out of it and clean off and go, that was pretty intense. That's the only way we're going to learn how to do this, and then walk out smiling. It's the only. That's it.
And then live life.
And you have to.
And then you live your life.
Yeah. Because there's nothing else. Yeah, you could wake up in the pod and it's all over. And then that goes on over there. I already asked that question. I go, are we fighting the AI out here? Are we inside the Matrix to learn how to beef with the AI? They were like, nope. What if we told you you're born into the world here, like with these ridiculous powers, and everyone's got them? Everyone. But
except we all have amnesia.
No. I'm talking about why you even bring in people here and get the amnesia is to learn from base how to go through with nothing or maybe have, then have not.
Right.
And then go back to, oh, I'm grateful for being what I am because look what I just went through to come back. Be in the way.
Look what I went through to get here.
Right. And then you wake up inside out of the, you're in the container, the tube, the pod in 13D or 14D, and you get up, you clear yourself off, and now you can use those abilities in real time with understanding that you have great respect for life. This is why they say love in your heart and this and that, because maybe your mind can crush someone there. Hurt yourself and other people, and that's why we're learning this here, and that's why we like it. It's like a big theater show, but we're really learning because we know but we don't know. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you, Ethereal Translator.
Can't believe it's over.
I know. Fearless Family Unite brings the tribes together and rock and roll. I'm Frank.